All right, good morning, everyone. Dan here with tradingology.com in the trading room for May 20th. Good friend of mine's birthday, so happy birthday to shout outs there to you guys. And as usual, we do have Dave joining us from the Strong Market team. We'll let him get rolled in here as we get settled in, and a few members are jumping in now too. So good morning, Dave. Good to see you.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody.
I got to warn you, we had some tornadoes rolling through the area, so watch out if you get rumblers in a couple days.
That's not good.
We had our first signs of, it was actually pretty close too. It was one of those getting sketchy.
Well, it is spring. It's that time of year.
Yep. Probably within 5 miles, 10 miles, they had touchdowns. But we managed through it, so we're good to go. We had some hints of what today was going to bring. I should pull over this real quick, and we'll review this for people that haven't seen it yet. This is the market timer spreadsheet that you created many years ago that is still amazingly successful at predicting things. Obviously, nothing is ever 100%. But as we take a look at the Dow, and we have this on both the Dow and the NASDAQ, but we look at what we see here in some of the symbols. Yesterday, we had a down day of 164, right? And we're showing a price anomaly of 155. So that's indicating that we should have a bounce back. We have the first column is bearish hurting, so that's a little bit against it, an up move. But the more we look at it, we see MT volatility is low. We have flow or the pipeline's turning white here, a little bit, couple columns. We have the buy sell signals went positive at a 1. We have the swing signal up. So we have a lot of things that are indicating an up day coming. We kind of thought that the day before, where we're saying, yeah, there's not a lot of bearish things happening here. We had 3 days in a row of no bearish hurting, right? So we're kind of anticipating an up move. And we definitely had that looking at we had a down move overnight. Then it's been rallying ever since, right around the Asian markets, I'd say open, right? 4 a.m. my time. But yeah, now we're up 137 on the YM. And looking at that price anomaly, 155, we are up 123 right now. So it's probably going to get another 30 out of it, we'll say. That gives us good clues.
It does. And that price anomaly continues to just amaze me because it can predict really whether or not we're going to get a move in the market, and not only a move higher or lower, but also the number of points on the Dow. So it pretty much focuses on the algorithm focuses on a Dow price change. And we had some negatives, like you said, but most of them were pretty positive.
Yeah, look at the same thing on the NASDAQ side. That was even a little more telling, where we had no hurting, which is pretty rare. So the way I read that, or the way we read that, is typically that is bullish if there's no hurting. Then same kind of thing here. We've had MT volatility above 100% for quite a long time here, a couple of weeks. That has now dropped down into the mid 90s. So that's bullish. We had no big price anomaly there, so no big bounce expected, but we see everything else is pretty much positive. This has moved down, pipeline flows moved down, the swing signal is up, buy sells at a 0, so it's headed towards positive. So everything over here is, the notes were neutral to positive. There's no negative notes that we're seeing. And right. We see that in the extra run up in the NDX, where that's up 1.5 points already, versus, almost half a point on the Dow. So more bullish on the NASDAQ side. And we're seeing that in the markets, in the futures, in the indexes, in the ETFs, everything's up. If we look at the Qs, major move up on the Qs, on the NQ and the Qs for that matter. That's just a massive run there.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice run on 1.5% on the NQs today. That's a pretty big move. RTY is kind of struggling a little bit. Of course, we've been talking about the Russell 2000, kind of a large head and shoulders pattern recently, and how it actually looks very much like the daily Bitcoin chart. And as we mentioned on Tuesday, you had predicted a low in Bitcoin, which we hit yesterday morning. Yesterday was a huge sell-off in cryptocurrency. Some were down 40, 50%. And your Bitcoin target got hit.
I still can't believe that happened that fast. We had it right there at 43,288.
Yep.
And wham. And then then the next one. It was after that even.
Yeah.
So I've drawn this in already for the next one. So let me get rid of that, because here's what we saw then, right? We had just broke it. So I went and drew a new one, because I've been updating that as we go. So we'll do this live. So here's our new guy that was there, because there's where we broke it. 31,283. Boom.
Hit it.
Hit it in a day. So I'm looking for, we need one more day. So tomorrow, as long as we don't break this again, because we could, we'll have a valid swing low here, because we're in a downtrend now, even though people don't like to hear that about Bitcoin. This is a downtrend. We're making lower lows. We have lower highs. So what I've done now is redrawn this. I suppose I could leave it right there because that one was hit. So now we start at the lowest. So it never even retraced. That's what's odd.
Right.
So if this keeps continuing down, we might have to wait for the new sequence. That's why we need one more day, because I want 2 to the left and 2 to the right to confirm a proper swing high and swing low. So we need one more day to complete here. But if it does complete, we'll draw a new fib on here, which would start there and run there. We might see 20. And there's even some higher time frames that show potential targets at 10,000. I think it was 11 to be exact, 11 and change. I'd put a tweet out there, so being careful for that. So we'll wait for this for proper swing highs or lows where the next target is. But yeah, 20 or 10,000 could be in the cards. Just public service announcement out there.
Well, actually, if you look at that, the formation of kind of a head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin on the daily, the way that I was measuring it yesterday, I was looking at it and looking at potential targets. And we've got that high up there around 64,895, which was in the middle of this head and shoulders pattern, this large topping pattern. And then the neckline is right around that 47.5-ish area. Yeah, right in there.
Here,
so that's the neckline. And if you take that and that neckline is now broken, I got a number on Bitcoin of 18,800. So it's pretty close to your 20,000.
Yeah, they line up. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, and this was a really long trend line that I had here that was adding to the potential where it could bounce at eventually.
Yeah.
Would have started back from March of 2020.
Yeah. So yeah, I would be. I mean, if you're in Bitcoin, or if you're going to add to your position, or whatever you want to do, right around just below 20,000, I think would probably be, for me at least, a safer entry than where we are right now. I think I'd hold off on any kind of entry on Bitcoin until we just dip under 20.
Yeah, that's when the blue light special cart goes off and they say the sale is on.
Yeah, right. That's right. In Ethereum, I was looking at right around 1,700 on Ethereum. In fact, I tweeted that out yesterday. I like Ethereum right around 1,770. It may go lower than that though now.
Yeah, I haven't drawn anything on that one, so I'll leave that one alone for now. But yeah, we'll see if it repeats what this did on this big bounce to 800 back in February.
Yeah, what was that percentage move? Let's see if we got similar percentage moves here.
Yeah, we got about a 58% move.
Okay.
And 59, 58.
So,
exactly.
So it's pretty close. I don't know. We bounced back on the first one, but the second one we didn't bounce back all the way back up to the top again. So we'll see what happens here. See if we bounce around for a while. But I still like that 17-ish area on Ethereum.
Oh, we got Kyle waiting. Let me grab Kyle here. So for all our friends out there too that have XRP, I want to give them the public service announcement as well, because we were obviously in the uptrends there. Here's our fib we had on that. We had a target of 268 currently. After we hit that $2 mark, then it started pulling back. We did have a pullback. It didn't break it at that point. It was close. So we had a pullback to, what is this one, $1? So we had a green pullback. So our new target was 218 as it was running. So it was trying to get up to 218. And we broke it. So right there, we broke to the downside. So that's bad news. All our upside targets are now off. Fib sequences broke. So we have a lower low. We broke our initial starting point. So I started drawing new fibs starting there. So let's enable that guy and turn him on. Let's see. And I started with trying to go back all the way. So back here, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Let me draw that guy. And we'll make a sequence here. That goes down to 58 cents. I had another one drawn. That one, I don't like that one.
Actually, the 58 cents is not a bad number because that's exactly where that bull run up to $2 took place. That started it there.
True. It feels like, let me take it here. Let me do this. This is what I saw. So that's obviously a swing high, and this is obviously a swing low. So if we break that 198, then it's going to be an uptrend again. And we've had a retracement back to purple, almost green. Let's see what's green at here. 182. And our high is 181. So it didn't quite hit the green retracement. We've hit the purple. So the new target is 55 cents.
55, yeah.
To the
okay, well, that makes sense. That's still pretty close to that bottom of that, just before that big move up.
Yep. So heads up, guys. So that's the current sequence for the fib is if we break that, then we're going back up because we're getting higher highs. But right now we got a lower low, and we are seeing lower highs, very close. But it is definitely lower. It's a lower high than here. We got a lower low. We'll see what happens in a couple of days. But that is the current target. So if you're looking to add for people that can, that's where I would start considering adding on, maybe down here around stuff below $1. They're not going to like hearing that, but that's just reading what the charts say. No personal opinions, just using data.
Yeah, and interesting concerning data from yesterday. There was it was kind of interesting that I heard someone talking this morning, and I believe it was on Benzinga. Yeah, it was Joel Elkanan, I think is the last name. And he was talking to a hedge fund manager friend that he knows, and there was an article that came out in Byte magazine, and it talked about the leveraged positions in crypto that were liquidated yesterday.
Oh,
so yeah, so $8 trillion in leveraged crypto positions. Yeah, I tried to find the article, I couldn't find it. He said it was in Byte magazine. You're a pretty good searcher. Maybe you'll find it. But he said that it involved 775,000 crypto traders who are trading on high leverage. And some of the exchanges, you can go up to 100 times leverage. And so as the market started to continue to go down, more and more of those positions got liquidated, affecting 775,000 traders and $8 trillion in market cap.
That is amazing. I saw different tweets on that too. And people that were talking about that, I didn't realize it was that big and how many margin calls were actually triggered yesterday with that major drop.
Well, they don't do margin calls. I mean, you can trade leverage, but what they do is when it hits your equity, when you wipe out your equity, they liquidate your position automatically. They don't even ask for margin.
Gotcha. So apparently people were calling it that, but it's a similar but different technical terminology.
That's right. See, even a margin call in stocks, if you have, you got 24 hours to put up more cash if you need it, if you're below the maintenance margin and below your liquidity margin. And so if you don't put it up, they'll liquidate your position for you. In crypto, you're out of equity, you're out of the position, because they're not collecting. Crypto firms are not out there collecting margin.
Yeah, they don't give you the friendly email saying, "Oh, sir, we see that you might need to make a deposit. We'll give you 24 hours to make a deposit." It's like, no, you're done.
Yeah, because crypto can move a lot in 24 hours, and the exchanges are not going to be losing money. They're not going to be in a position of granting you a 24-hour loan.
Well, I'll look for that, and if I find it, I will put it in the recording, and you guys can check that out with the link to it. I'll find some stuff, and we'll add it to the recording after the fact. That is very interesting, though. and people definitely need to be understanding, because a lot of these people that are investing in it too, it's all new to them. And I did see another article I don't have on my screen right now, but it was related to, where's all this funding coming from? Well, they're showing, with all the stimulus money, I think it was literally a small business that had taken over $500,000 that it had been granted through PPP loans that were not required to be repaid. They said they didn't even need it. It went straight into like Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
That's where a lot of this money is. They're just dumping it into Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, if the exchanges can offer 100-to-1 leverage, you put $1,000 in, you can start trading with 100 grand. But you lose that $1,000 equity, which can happen. I mean, especially if you're trading 100,000 in any of these cryptocurrencies, it moves a percentage against you, 1%. That wipes out your equity. They liquidate your position, and that's I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened yesterday. Now we got green across the board on cryptocurrencies. I actually tried to log in and into Coinbase. I actually got some XLM very, very cheap price at 32 cents. But then I tried to log in again to try to buy some more, and it froze up on me. I couldn't get in at all.
Yeah, everyone's trying to log in because they're going to have panic selling pretty soon if they keep getting those kind of drops.
Yeah, I don't mean to pick on Coinbase here, but the majority of the complaints were against Coinbase because nobody could log in, especially after it hit the bottom there.
What is going on here? I was just trying to pull up XLM for you. There we go. We'll bring that one back. The volume chart's in the way. Look at that, almost a quarter.
Almost 25 cents to hit the low. I never saw that. I started buying when it was down around 35, 32. I put my order in, it started dropping. I put my order in at 32. Good thing I put my order in at 32 because, and it's not that big a position. I mean, it's really tiny. There's no way I'm going to put a lot of money in crypto anymore. But it hit 32, but I couldn't log in to even confirm it for a couple hours later.
Wow. Yes, that's a scary thing.
Yeah, I put the order in. I figured it got hit. But,
yeah, just like investing 101 or trading 101, don't put in anything that you can't afford to lose. That's 100% even more true when it comes to crypto, because you don't know if you can access your crypto exchange, let alone make a trade.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever you put in, make sure you're safe with it being lit on fire. And if it works out good, then it's icing on the cake. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this one, but I don't agree with Powell on a lot of things, except when he said that crypto is a speculative investment.
Right.
Or trading vehicle. He didn't even call it an investment. He called it a trading. Speculative trading.
It's not often we agree with that goofball.
No, it's not often. Not often at all.
But I should bring up, since it's Thursday, our report. Speaking of those guys in the unemployment claims, everyone's happy because we had lower than reported. Well, we'll see if that's revised next week and it gets to be above, but it's the lowest claim since our new pandemic era. Jobless claims fall to 444, and we see it right there. They were forecasting 453. So that was happy days. So that's half the time they go reverse, but maybe they only go reverse when it's red.
Hey, so everybody loves it. 444,000, no problem. Back in the financial crisis, 250 was like really high.
Yeah, your hair was on fire.
Now we got a higher high.
Right. They've reset reality. So across the board, we're seeing, it's on the headline of CNBC even as well. Let's see if anything else is jumping on here before we get to the top to wrap. Kyle, if you got any questions, let us know. I see you lurking in there. They're talking about January 6th stuff because they got nothing better to talk about. And there's no peace yet over in Israel. So anybody that has friends, family, coworkers over there, I know I work with some people that are over there in the Tel Aviv area. That's pretty scary. So hopefully they're safe and doing better. But apparently they were trying to do another ceasefire and it's not working.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that I saw a news article saying that they were both trying to launch as many rockets as possible before a potential ceasefire.
Wow.
Yeah, like that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. And the NQ is going off the chart. Breaking 101.5. If it breaks that level, we might go all the way to the top shelf. That'd be 2.5, 3.5 percenters.
What does the daily look on that? Like on that?
On NQ?
Daily on that. I think you did flash it just a few seconds ago, but I'm wondering what the daily looks like.
Oh, the daily on the NDX?
Yeah, on the NDX, because I think we're still in a pretty much of, yeah, there you go. I mean, we're kind of like bouncing around here, and we're just right up against that. What's that, the 50?
Yep, it's right on the 50 right now.
Yeah, so we broke down through it, and now we're retracing. Let's see if the 50 acts as resistance here. If we close above that, then we're probably going to go higher and probably maybe even back up to the old high at 14,073 there. But if we don't, then it's a pretty good indication that that's going to be acting as resistance.
Yeah, and we see the same 50 on the Dow and the SPY.
Yep.
Acted as support there.
Held support. And now the NDX has been the weakest over the last few weeks. So, going back to the end of April, now we'll see if it acts as resistance.
Exactly. And on a day where we're up 200 points on the NDX, small numbers on the supply demand indicators here of 5. That's not a real major bullish sentiment. So this very well could. So we'll be watching that closely to see if this is resistance or not, or if it fails.
Yeah.
Or as they go to lunch, will the bears come out and knock them down a little bit? We'll see. Or there might be a lot of profit taking happening. That's one thing that's going to happen that we see at these levels, because it is breaking through. So there's chances this could keep running.
Yeah, we'll see. Pay attention today, guys, because if you're doing any kind of swing trading or anything like that, that 50-day moving average is going to be an important level to watch.
The algorithms will be triggering for sure.
And it's interesting that the 50-day moving average is right on that line.
Yeah, that's why I watch multiple things. It's easy to. It's part of the flying instruments, right? As we like to say.
That's right.
And look at the price signal. They had a big run up early, but it's getting weaker. So the strength isn't there. So we'll see if it has enough oomph to keep going or not.
Well, it's still green. So as long as it stays green, even though it doesn't quite have the momentum it used to, it's still a positive signal.
It is building. It's making higher ones right now as I zoom in there and look closer.
Yeah, you want to not only look at whether it's red or green, but also whether or not it's building or it's kind of moving sideways or what it's doing. But as long as it's green, it's still positive.
Yep. So I should mention, if anyone catching the recording on this, we'll throw a link in the bottom here if you want to get a subscription. It is only $5 a month after the initial $100 investment for the market timer sheets, which is a ridiculous price, if you ask me, for what all these things show. But that is what the Strong Market team offers. So you can get a subscription to this. It is included with the complete market timer system, which is all these signals that I leverage that you guys see me use. So links are always below. If you guys ever need anything, if you got any questions around what it's available on, shoot them an email at support@Strong Market, and they will be happy to help you. I know they're great at helping out people with that. Or if you got any questions on the courses that we use, you can always hit us up at support@tradingology.com. So the better we can help you, the better we are. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit that like and subscribe. Dave likes it when we get more people subscribing so we can get more information out to you guys and do those public service announcements. Not advice, but we just want to say, here's the data we're seeing. Here's things to watch out for.
We're very much data-driven traders here. We like the data. That's why we use a spreadsheet for the end-of-day stuff. That's why we're using algorithms to measure supply and demand in the market. And those are all of the indicators that Strong Market has put out. They measure supply and demand. And that's how stocks move, all in the pursuit of price discovery. So, and don't be like those, I think our biggest strength is to show you what to stay away from and how not to blow up your account like those 775,000 traders in cryptocurrency that got wiped out. And, hopefully they learned a lesson. I mean, I'm sure many of them used stimulus checks. Maybe it was money they could afford to lose, but still it's $8 trillion taken out of the market cap. 775,000 traders got wiped out. It's not a good thing. So hopefully you learned something from it. If you wanted to learn how to, to really trade, so that you don't blow up your account, so that you can consistently get into the market, manage your risk, and be more successful in the market, give us a follow. I'm at macrotrader_X on Twitter, and Dan is at mytradingology on Twitter, and give us a follow.
Absolutely. We love to help, and shoot us questions if you got them, throw them in the comments. We do have people, I should mention too, email is always busy. So if you don't get an answer right away, we try and answer fast, but I do have a couple people that might be starting to help us with emails. So start to watch for earlier responses. So we do have some assistants that are going to help it on the email side of the house. So
nice.
Good news coming ahead. So Kyle says, so happy I only listened to your advice. I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you. It's good to hear that, the more we hear people having success, the better that it is. I have actually I get more joy out of helping people be successful than I do out of trading myself. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the whole idea behind trading, really, if you want to be successful, is risk management. The profits pretty much take care of themselves. Yes, you need your targets, like Dan has showed you how to set up your targets, when to take profits. But risk management is an really overlooked. I mean, you can't be a successful trader. I've been trading since 1976. Options, futures, commodities, you name it, I've traded it all. And risk management is the #1 priority of my job as a trader, as a business. So it's the only way to survive.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always said when I started this, it's like the new title is risk manager.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That works out. All right, Dave, as always, we appreciate you joining us on our Tuesdays and Thursdays here. We got another weekend coming up here, so you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully it's good weather in your area, and we will catch you guys next Tuesday. So until next time, Dave, and we'll see you guys in the Slack channels.
Have a nice weekend, everybody. Take care now.
Bye-bye.